Okay, I'm just gonna need like another second. I just try to I had hiccups, so just trying to get rid of them real quickly. So I do have a bunch of stuff to talk about. It's been a long while. I don't doubt that I'm not gonna have too many people watching that do know me, but that's okay. The important part is I want to kind of explain how things have been going. Let me move my character up a little bit more so you can see her better, and she's not so you know, in the corner right now. And I'll get some music in the background as well. Oh, so where do I start? I want to say things have been going well. I am officially a resident. Um, since August, midway August. So it's almost about a year. Things are going well. I got married in October. But no, there's a lot of things I plan in the future, so things I want to discuss and talk about. And but first, I am officially back. I can uh, I can actually start streaming properly now, due to residential issues and location and address and all that tax stuff. I just didn't really feel comfortable with the streaming while still waiting. So I essentially chose to not. I did a little bit here and there, if people may remember, but overall, I wanted to make sure, right? So, but now I'm back, and I'm gonna start at least maybe twice a week, maybe 3 times a week streaming. Primarily gonna be focusing on my avatars and working on stuff, and I am going to be, you know, working towards making a site to sell my stuff, and but again, that's all in the future and whatnot. But yeah, no. So things have been really good though. I've uh, I've been almost living where I am now for almost a year, and things have been really great. But like I said, the waiting time, all that, made it almost impossible to do things extreme. But yeah, now I'm here. So to put a bit of a time frame to everything and how things have been from where I am now to where I was before, I moved out of my house. I moved out around October 2nd, 2024. I came down. Mind you, just to clarify, I moved country, so that was a big thing. I moved down. I moved down on my K1 visa. That's what I was under at first. My fiance and myself, now my husband, we got married on October 24th, 2024, which it was a beautiful day. It was such a nice day. I was so I felt like a princess. I looked like a princess. I was really happy. But we got married. I then applied for the adjustment status. That got sent out in November. And then from then, we were just doing all the paperwork back and forth uh, to get my residency. And I feel like someone there at the government agency building had a sense of humor. Because every time I had certain appointments for stuff, it was like on my birthday. I had a biometric appointment for my fingers and stuff like that on my birthday, which was really funny. But no, so yeah, we were in the process to get the application through to get my residency, to get that all done. And so, in the course of like from November to August is like the time frame. So November 2024 to about August 2025, 12th specifically. And then during that time period, there was just a lot of back and forth uh, for paperwork. I had a little thing that I was worried about because of my birth certificate. So for people who don't know, some people don't own a long form certificate for whatever reason. I happen to not own a long form. I happen to own a short form. And because they needed a long form, I had applied for one back in May, did all the paperwork, sent it off, and there was a lot of back and forth with that as you deal with anything government related. And by the time my deadline was coming up for the information that I had to provide, I wasn't gonna have enough time for the new birth certificate to come in. Like logically, it physically, like it would not be in here in time. But I had plenty of like secondary evidence, so we ended up going, okay, we'll just submit everything, explain everything the best that we can, and hope that they're not gonna, turn us down. Of course, that made me nervous because it's my future. I want to live here. I want to be with my husband, and but it all worked out, and now I'm here. I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. But yeah, no. So that's kind of like the time frame from here to there, from there to now. But yeah, so now I'm a resident. I got that. I have a bank account too, so things are going really well. But yeah, so from here on out, I mean, it's just a question of what I really want to do, right? When I still lived in Canada, I didn't really feel like I can do what I wanted out of pressure and other things and other family situations, but I don't necessarily want to get into that right now since it doesn't really matter at this point in my life. But no, I mean, I've learned so much in the course of a year. I've been doing a lot of model stuff. I've had a lot of free time in general to like mentally recover and deal with my own traumas and own problems, and I want to say that I'm way better now than I used to be. So let me just taking this sip of Dr. Pepper. But either way, I mean, from here on out, I plan to start streaming some more. I want to really get into actually be able to showcase all my model stuff and work on things that I enjoy. Get to hang out with you guys as well. Hello, Marco. But yeah, so it's been an interesting journey. It's been an interesting time period. Like I said, because of legal reasons, I had to wait to just like stream, I guess, officially again. But now I can. It's just the whole tax thing, right? I didn't want to have my old tax information on my Twitch account when now I'm no longer there. Right? Makes sense. So now that's all taken care of and we're all good to go. So, yay! I can actually pay the right taxes to the right people, essentially. But yeah, no, things have been really good. So I just wanted to kind of have a casual stream today to talk about things and talk about my plans. And no, I am not in Canada anymore. I am not. I am in the USA. And I know there's a lot of people that like kind of will be all like, "Oh, how unfortunate for you," or "I feel bad for you." Yeah, no worries. It's okay. So yeah, I moved from Canada to the US. I got married, got my residency, and now I can stream officially again. So that's basically the whole story in a nutshell. I had some lots of free time. Lots of free time to work on stuff. Lots of free time to practice my skills, mentally recover, all the fun stuff. Um Husband's been super supportive. He's such a sweetheart. I love him a lot. He's being lazy in bed right now. So, but no, things have been really good. His family's great. His family has been super supportive, and I've learned a few new skills. For example, when I first got down here, I reupholstered a chair for his grandparents. Even though I've never reupholstered before, but I've done a lot of sewing. So yeah, that was interesting. That was fun. I'll probably do something like that again in the future if I'm not living in an apartment where I have like my own home and a garage. But because I did enjoy reupholstering. It wasn't too difficult. It was essentially just stripping down the old piece of fabric on top of the bottom and top of the chair, and then making a template out of the old fabric and mirroring it for the new fabric, and then essentially just sewing everything back together and stapling things on and making it look nice, like folding the rims so that they weren't just rough edges and but yeah, so I learned how to reupholster a chair on my own, no help. So that was interesting, but they really love it, and her my grandma and her husband, he's really happy because it's his chair, and I also had enough fabric to make some extra pillowcases for it to match. So it's really like nautical themed. But anyway, so I've done like stuff like that over the months I've been here. I've been doing some sewing projects every year and whatnot to like make extra money when I could. Just something on the side to do. Um, I know some people don't get excited over like say getting like an ironing board, but I was super happy to get an ironing board, and as well as I already have a sewing machine, and my husband's grandmother, she got me a serger for sewing, which if you don't know what a serger is, imagine it's a machine that instead of 2 threads, it's 4 threads, and it's what loops around the edges of your fabric to seal it. That's what a serger is. They're very useful machines. They're very expensive machines. I'm super happy in that I she got me one for as a wedding gift. Super sweet of her. She did not have to do that at all. But in the midst of the fabric stores pretty much closing down, which is unfortunate, it's gonna get a little bit more difficult, I guess, to buy stuff. I know the Hobby Lobby still exists, and I know Hobby Lobby sells like sewing supplies, so it's not like I don't have a place to go do. But yeah, I've been doing some sewing, some upholstery work, a lot of modeling, playing a lot more, and hanging around more in VR chat. I met some amazing people and really cool communities, and I do stuff for them modeling every once in a while, and but yeah, no, things have been really good. Want to just say though that like yeah, mentally I'm way better than I was over a year ago. I had so much that was going on with me that I was struggling with, and I'm not saying like I was depressed or anything like that. Yeah, yeah, VR chat most like. I mean, most people I feel like I've met through VR chat in general. So most people. Um, but either way, I mean, you gotta. Here's the thing too. I've been playing the game for 7 years. Let that sink in. I've been playing VR chat for 7 years. That's a long time. It's almost a decade. Give me another 3 years and it's gonna be a decade. If the game still exists by then, I would hope so. Um, but yeah, no. Yeah, because I started playing VR chat in the early tail end of 2018, just around the end of 2017. And I mean, that game was quite. It was a different game, I mean, back then, right? It wasn't the same as it is now. I mean, all games has its issues, but I do feel back then the game was more of a social experience where you get to meet and talk to people and hang out and get to know people on a more personal level than, you know, the fact that you could connect to somebody from like across the world, right? And have meet new people and have cool conversations. That's kind of how I felt VR chat was back in those days. And once the Quest users kind of popped off, that's when things kind of changed. So, but you know, it's still a game that I enjoy playing with people that I care about, and um, again in VR on occasion. But I'm always making something. So, but yeah, you know, despite the game has its own issues, right? We all know this. Um, but no, I mean, I play a lot of stuff, so like not just VR chat. I mean, I just hit 5,000 hours on VR chat recently, which is crazy to think about because most of those hours that I have in the game are like from the COVID era, right? From like 2020 to about 2023. So for like a good 3 years or so, right? That was where most of my hours came from because most of the time I was inside the house. And what did you do all day when you were stuck at home all day, right? You had more free time. So I mean, I did meet my future husband through VR chat, so that's a whole story I could talk about if you guys want to hear about that. Um, but you know, I'm just really grateful and happy that I'm here now and things are going really well in my life and uh, but now we're just moving forward slowly to what I want to do next, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't have the support and the help from the people that cared enough to want to support me. And you know, I don't know if Kip Up is lurking, but Kip Up, thank you so much. You've helped so much, even if you feel like you haven't. Even it was just kind of guiding both my husband and myself to learn how to get plane tickets set up and deal with all of that, you know, and it was very helpful. And, you know, for the people who have cared enough to support me in my relationship, you know, I'm also grateful for everybody who's always been there for me. And I know I have a pretty small friend circle. I wouldn't say I have a massive friend circle, but you know, I'm still grateful for those who have been around, who've cared enough to be around. And I understand we all got our own lives. We all got things going on, and you can't always reach out to another person, and I perfectly understandable. But either way, you know, I'm still grateful for the people who have been and have been supportive. Mm. Mind you, I'm very much comfortable with my own self. Like, I could spend all day on my own and not be fine. So, it's not a constant feeling of I need to hang around people either. It's just more like, oh, if you want to hang out, come and hang out. I think my husband's cleaning the dishes now. I'm right beside the kitchen, so. But yeah, I got a lot of plans for the future. I want to start streaming my modeling stuff. I'll be working on setting everything up and start to sell my stuff that I've made, all my assets. So it's gonna be things like my models, my accessories, clothing, you name it, furniture, whatever. Like I'll make pretty much anything in Blender. One thing I thought would be fun to do is like one stream a week. You guys can make a poll, and that poll will be what you want me to make, and then that's what I'll make for that stream. So say I have a whole list of things in categories already. So I basically just go, okay, you guys get to pick from these categories today, and then we'll do a poll. And then if you pick, make a pair of, I don't know, gothic boots, something like that, right? And that's what I would make. So I think that would be a little fun to do. I do want to stream games as well. Maybe. I was before. So we'll definitely look towards doing that. I don't have much of a schedule yet for anybody to be consistent about, but I know I want to stream at least maybe 3 days a week. Get something to start to get back into it. I know I technically could stream almost every day, Nothing's really stopping me other than myself, but I still want to make sure I have a day or two off to not be streaming. Because typically when I used to stream, I could stream for like a good 6-8 hours, just nonstop. That blame the ADHD, blame my hyper focus tunnel vision for that. I mean, like I said, I'm living in the apartment with my husband, so there's really nothing stopping me from streaming as long as I need to or want to. The only difference is if the internet decides to bork, then it's like, ah, shit, right? Fuck. So yeah, there is that to consider. I could try in the future if people want to do a fun little 24-hour stream, but again, it's more of like it's an all in the works. I would love also to be able to like host little cooking streams, but it doesn't necessarily need to be through Twitch. It might be through Discord, right? So like if there's something you guys want to learn or you want to cook together, I would love to do a little streaming video of that in the future, of the cooking and making stuff together, or baking, or whatever you guys want to do. Could like find a recipe that everyone that's like relatively easy to make, or the ingredients aren't super expensive, so if people want to go and buy the stuff ahead of time, and then that day we'll make it all together. I think that would be kind of fun. Maybe some sewing as well. Depends, because I have my other table not too far from me. So I could stream my sewing if I have any sewing projects to do in the future. There's a plethora of things I can do. Another thing, and this is something that I've only been recently wanting to get into. I'm trying to relearn again, because I used to be able to, how to sing. I used to sing a long time ago. There's a lot of stuff's gonna tie back to my past and the things that I've been through, but I used to sing all the time. Back when I used to go to church as a kid, back in school, I used to be in choir in grade 8, so I was a pretty good singer. I had to tend to do solos in my choir because I was the only one that could reach the notes. And over the years, as things changed and I changed and life was, being life, I like stopped singing. I still love it, I still enjoy it, but I went through some things and it became something that I didn't feel confident in doing for whatever reason. Even though it's still in me, quite literally. So I'm slowly getting into practicing, and I still need to do some like vocal warm-ups later today and practice the song that I'm practicing. But it's definitely something that I want to become comfortable and confident again with. I used to be able to quite literally sing in front of hundreds of people and it not bother me. And now I can't even sing in front of like 3 people without feeling really nervous. I don't know what's with that. But yeah, that's just something that maybe on stream I might get into too, like practicing that, maybe to build up my confidence and my comfortability. I mean, technically I'd be streaming in front of a bunch of people that I don't see, so it wouldn't feel like I'm people there watching. I have a few ideas for that, but either way, I mean, again, these are all just things that I maybe like to do, and I'm just trying to figure it all out, right? As you can see, my avatar is a little different from my photo, and I know I haven't updated things yet, and I keep kind of going back and forth what I want to do. But I did design and make this new character to replace my old look. I wanted to go with something instead of so more like pastel-y, more semi, I guess, muted. There's a few things about her that's unique. Her eye color is actually my eye color. And the style outfit I went with, I don't own, but I mean, I kind of like the look that I went with it. I just move her up all the way so you can kind of see. Woo! Sorry. But yeah, so. Oh, but anyway, if I move my camera, But yeah, so that's the kind of look I went with. She got like a pair of pants and a tank top and jeans. Sorry for the Zoom crotchet. I apparently don't know how to use my thing. Anyway. But yeah, so I'm not too certain. I did make everything myself for the character. So example, did all the artwork, put it in the program, did all the things. I learned all the things in 7 days. I do actually have some toggles. Let's see if I remember. Let's see if I remember some of my. Those are for gestures. So I got this little guy here. This is my husband. This is my hubby. He hangs out with me sometimes. And then this is Kip Pup. Kip Pup's right here as well. So we got my husband and we got the Kip Pup. So sometimes you'll see me with one of them in my arms. I basically added everything that I wanted at the time, and if I were to do any more work on this, I would need a subscription because, I used the pro trial version when I first made everything. And unless I would reduce the size of the file, I would not be able to export out anything else on it, which is fine. I pretty much have everything I want with it working. So maybe in the future, but either way, it's fine. I mean, it works. Okay, no, no, no. We're not doing any, we don't need views, okay? We don't need any of that. I'm sorry, but we're not into the whole view botting thing. No view botting. None of that. I don't really have anyone who's my moderators right now, I don't think, watching, so... But no, either way, that little blurb aside. Yeah, so things have really well. Also, I thought Twitch was doing something about that, trying to deal with the botting situation. We'll see how much true that is. But yeah, so what else is there? Well, I want to clarify, I am not pregnant. I'm not having kids yet. I'm not ready for that yet. So if anyone's wondering, like, oh, do you guys have plan to have family time soon? Not yet. Maybe in the future, but not yet. Right now we're living in an apartment, and I'm not really keen on raising a child in an apartment. So maybe a few years down the line, but I've barely been married for a year. So, but by the way, my 1-year anniversary is coming up in October. So, yeah, so that's exciting. It's crazy, honestly, the fact that it's almost been a year that I've been here for. It's just nuts to me. When I first moved down, most of the time it felt like I was dreaming. Like, I didn't feel like any of this was real, and that I was gonna wake up and be back in my old toxic, shitty situation. By the way, when I refer to my situation, I'm probably gonna be calling them the Toxic 3. Just to clarify, I'm not gonna give names. And I don't care if they're ever at some point watching my streams and they hear or see that. Because they are very toxic. All of them. But, I moved on from that and I'm living my life now. And I'm happy, and that's all that matters. So, I did get glasses recently, over the course of like 2 months ago, I think. So I can actually see now, after a long time of not being able to see. So I'm glad that I finally can see again. It made it difficult to do things when you can't see, right? And I can't see far, so, but I can see close. So, oh, sorry, my camera does that thing if I move away from it a certain way, it goes in and out. But yeah, so there's a lot of things I had to let go when I moved, which is just a fact of life, right? I couldn't bring certain things with me that I wish I could have, but a lot of things are replaceable. I mean, people aren't replaceable, but items, objects, whatever, clothing, all that is replaceable. So, at the exact same time, I was I was getting rid of stuff way before I was moving. So essentially, the year I knew I was going to be leaving, from the start, I was going through my stuff, putting stuff in boxes, and slowly getting everything donated. So when I finally left, the room was empty. The only thing left on me was 2 suitcases, a carry-on, and a backpack. That was it. That's what I brought with me to the US. And that room's probably still empty. And it probably hasn't changed. Because they probably won't be able to move on in their lives. The only thing left in there was an empty closet, a perfectly clean made bed, and a desk and a chair. That was it. Nothing else in that room. I basically stripped that room bare. I wanted no resemblance of my life there. Pretty much. Yeah. But, as a creator, and someone who does 3D, if there's something that I remember that I used to have, I can just try to recreate it, right? So that's the one thing I think that's nice about being able to make stuff. Even if I can't have the exact same things I did, doesn't mean I can't find something similar. Also, I'm really not materialistic. Like, my computer room in here doesn't have a lot of stuff. I have a beanbag chair, a giant Chillette plushie, a small Chillette plushie, a bunch of other little plushies, some Tiger ones, and whatnot. Got my computer, I got my sewing table, and I've got my VR stuff set up for VR. That's pretty much my room. Same thing with my husband. His room has his computer, his VR set up. He's got a shelf for all his plushies and his stuff that he likes. We don't have a lot of stuff. Though I should be going through some closets and figuring out the things that we don't need to clear up some space. But otherwise, we're pretty good. But yeah, so there's a lot of things I had to let go. But again, that's life. Things when you move, big moves. But hey, I don't have to worry about taking a plane ever again. So thank God for that. I know there've been some crashes over the course of the year that I've been living here, which is really unfortunate and very sad. I know there's a lot of things that have happened in general that are bad and sad, and my condolences to all those families suffering and the losses, and I hope that they are able to get what they need to live their life still and find a purpose regardless of all those losses. But yeah, no, I know the thing that just happened recently with the church and the children, so that was very, very unfortunate. That should have never happened. But it breaks my heart because they were so young. But I'm just hoping that it doesn't happen again and everything. That was just tragic. But I'm not really here to talk about the situation that happened recently. Nor might think I'm near where the place was. I am in the state of Illinois, just to clarify. But that's all I'm gonna say, right? I'm not gonna dox myself. But yeah, no. Aside from some things being negative or sad or have happened, I would say generally things have been pretty good. I get some people who will tell me that things suck here. Well. Hi, Wolf and War. Well, Twitch is counting. I would think they're counting. Hi, Wolf and War. Look, there's one of my moderators. You missed the frickin' person trying to send a view bot to me for a low price of whatever. I banned them already. But anyway, yeah, I'm just talking about my whole situation from where I was to how I am now and how things are going and what things are gonna look like in the future. So Wolf and More, you're gonna have a job again. At least every once in a while. I'm planning on streaming at least 3 days a week. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You drive first. Don't look at your phone when you're driving. That's illegal. It's against the law. You get caught, you're gonna get fined or jailed. But nice to see you, Wolf and War. I know we spoke just last week. We'll go and play some games. That's another thing. I do plan on playing some games, guys. So I know Wolf and War in the future when you're free and you have some time, and I know you're busy and you've got your wife and things are going well with her, and you have something joyful on the way. Uh, but yeah, when you have the time and you want to play some games together, we can definitely stream and play some games together. Um, we should have done that one zombie game that we were trying out, but we kind of just ended up playing it and we're like, okay. So, but yeah, I at least want to started streaming again since, it's something I enjoyed. And no one's stopping me or getting in my way, essentially. That's what it is. No one's gonna come in my room and yell and scream at me because I'm streaming or because I'm doing something and I'm not paying attention to them. You may hear my husband every once in a while, but he's just gonna come in and bug me and then leave and go back to his own room. So, nothing too annoying to deal with at this point. Excuse me. When I first started, by the way, I had the really bad hiccups. So I for the first 10 minutes before I even started the stream, I was like, nope, I gotta wait. Yes, of course he is. Well, I love him. He's such a sweetheart. Anyway, so, I mean, Wolf and War, you kind of understand what my situation was like with the whole visa, green card, resident stuff, even though your situation was a little different. But yeah, no, it's a time-consuming thing going from, well, I came in on a K1 visa, then I got married, then I applied for the adjustment status, and then waited, paperwork, waited, paperwork, and then got approved. And now pretty much everything's pretty much good now. I mean, there's not much else I need to take care of. We still plan to get a state ID. And we gotta amend a few things like put our taxes to jointly and all that. But I have a bank account. I can transferring my money over from my old account. We also have a joint account set up, my husband and me, for shared expenses and taking care of stuff together. That is gonna be a responsibility of both of us being included in that, right? So if we need to make a big purchase or what something's going on, we'll talk about it first, all the responsible adulty things. But no, things are going really well. I don't know what we planned for our 1-year anniversary, because that's in October. That's like another month or so, month and a half from now. But we just had our 4-year dating anniversary on August 25th. So we have a lot of things very close in between August, September, and October. For some reason. And also a lot of birthdays in August. We had a lot of birthdays in August from family. So, a lot of August babies. But yeah, things are good. What else can I discuss that I know? Yeah, okay. So when it comes to the 3D models, one of the things I'll probably be doing in stream in the future is I'll be working on a list of models that I plan to put out to sell, right? So I'll be setting everything up, getting everything working, making sure that there's no issues, compatible shaders, everything that you'll need, and then package everything up, and then include what you do need in case you have to download things if you don't have it, like say Pyomi Tune, like Warren's Fast First Shader, all the things that are available for free, and then put it maybe on Payhip. I'm still debating where I want to put my stuff on, because they do charge a 5% transaction thing. So if I sold a model for about $30 USD, I believe I get about $25 each time, and then they take 5% or whatever 5% is of the 30. So I don't essentially want to like sell something for like $10 and barely get anything out of it, right? Everything I do is from scratch. Everything I make in Blender, I make myself. So, and yes, it would be good to have my own website, quote unquote, but that also is going to cost money either way. So, I think what my plan is to start with something with Payhip just for now, to start putting my stuff out there and getting things rolling, kind of a deal. And then maybe in the future, I can then switch into my own site. Or if I can afford to pay their monthly fee to reduce the transaction fee. Because, like, this thing is, it's like you pay $30 a month and it's like 2%. But if you pay $100 a month, it's 0% transaction fee. So that means every purchase that when someone makes, you get the full amount. But then you're paying them $100 a month, right? So you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, well, what am I comfortable with? I don't mind the 5% thing if I have enough stuff that I put on that it doesn't really matter as much. But you know, when you're first kind of starting out and getting things set up, right? And then there's the interest factor. If people aren't really interested in buying my stuff, that's fine, right? You know, everyone's got their tastes. That means I'm gonna have to keep whipping things up. Like, that's gonna be a problem. I can make a model in 3 days. But, you know, so there are some unique factors to getting all of this organized and set up. But that's why I thought the streams would be fun too, right? Yeah, there are plenty of websites though. So I will keep kind of taking a look and get things set up ahead of time regardless. I think if I could at least get 10 models ready to go and everything else I need for them, like photos, GIFs, like what's going to be on the listing, credits, all that, which primarily the only credit's going to be me. And then find that place that I would like to use and compare prices and compare what their thing is and then put them on there. I don't mind taking in commission work. I have a few things I need to start on commission wise. So I'll probably be streaming that as well, the ones that I can. There's some commission work that I won't be streaming due to their things that they want. And they want to keep it personal because it's a surprise. But if the person's okay with the streaming part of things, then I will stream working on it. So yeah, definitely stream my models, stuff, content. Because, listen guys, when I tell people I can make a model in 3 days, and I show them a model that I've made, their brain usually goes, oh my god, that's so cool. Also, you made that in 3 days? I'm like, uh-huh. I feel like people don't believe me. I tell them I make things like in 3 days. And I'll show you an example, why not? If I go in, whoop, move her over. So this is an example. I'm gonna open up Blender. Also, I'm using 4.5 now, which has a bunch of different new things they've added and changed some stuff up. I think they're using the new Vulkan engine now for 4.5, which has way more processing power. Okay, so here I'll use her as an example. This is my butterfly model, and mind you, the bones are crazy on her. So there's this model that I made a while back. So I will be planning on putting her on the sale. I'm currently still setting everything up in Unity to make sure everything's working properly, but here's the Blender file of her. So everything is from scratch. The body, I made a female and male base. That's another thing, Marco. I do sometimes help to teach Blender. So if anybody wants to learn Blender, I will also be willing to teach some Blender, whether it's through stream or through the actual class I teach once in a while. I do that. Like I said, I got my hands everywhere. I got my eggs in all the baskets. But yeah, so this is the one model that I made a while back, like maybe a month ago. And I planned to. So in the future, I will. Like I said, there's so much that I can do and that I want to do. So it's just trying to figure out what we're going to start with, essentially, right? But yeah, so there's this model here that I made. Right? Like the whole butterfly theme and everything. I love her. She's so pretty. but like she's got the garter belt underneath, and she's got these extra little flasks you can like hide. So, but yeah, this is this one. I got a bunch of models. Let's see here. I made this one recently, or I fixed it up. So there's this one that I kind of fixed back up, and I did some changes here and there. I put a different hairstyle in. From the famous words of a gazelle. Try everything. Yes, I mean, listen. If I do some 3D modeling on the side, hi Kid Pop, and that's another thing we need to do, guys. I need to update my emotes. I really need to update my emotes to the new character, to the one I'm actually using. Because right now it's the old character, which is fine. I mean, she still works, the Pastel Tiger, but I basically have to make her look like my new one instead. Which we could also stream that as well. I could also stream working on that. That's not a problem. I have a drawing monitor. But yeah, so I fixed up this model recently, and everything's from scratch as well. So I'm very, very good at the wide variety of stuff in general. Haha, funny. I've got this character here as well that I made and put together. There's also a male version, or male variant. And listen, guys, I will say male and female. I'm not gonna say body type 1, body type 2. Bite me. But yeah, so I made her. And if I go over to my male bodies, I also have the male version. So, like I said, I've made a lot of different stuff. I need to make more male models. I'm not gonna lie. I make too many female models because I'm in a female model. But, you know, I want to be able to make both since, I can. I have both. So that's another thing. For polls and stuff, I thought it'd be cool. Let me just open this up real quickly so I can kind of show you what my thing looks like. So in my folders, I have a thing called avatar_model list. And then each list has different things, right? So we have accessories, ears of tail, clothing, like fantasy style stuff, female models, flow toys, hairstyle items, male models, shoes. And essentially, I could go into here, and now we have like a prefla of different types. So we'll go like into coats, and then we got a shit ton of coats. So essentially the idea was like I wanted to make either a poll or we could do a wheel of choice thing, and you guys would tell me out of a list which type of coat you would want me to make, and say we'd pick like maybe 2 different styles of coats, and then maybe go out into here and maybe pick 2 different styles of pants, right? And then whatever polls the highest, then I would make that style, and then I would look and find a reference image and make that. And then, because eventually the idea is I essentially want to fill up all of these layers with all the different types of stuff, right? So like we've got different shirts. We've got t-shirts, tube tops, tunic shirts, Hawaiian, gypsy, front knot shirts, flannel shirts, right? So I essentially want to fill up each different shirt or each different skirt or whatever we're making. Shorts, swimsuits, you know, everything. I want to make everything, and then everything I make, I will then make available to put on my website, essentially, right? And the things in here will all fit the male and female base that I have made. So, yeah, so that was the idea. I spent a lot of time setting up all these folders to start, like, organizing everything ahead of time. So like we got like braided hair, and there's like tons of different styles of braids, and I did a lot of research to figure out like what different hairstyles and you know, ponytail hairstyles. Some of them have more, some of them have less. But eventually I would like to slowly fill these folders up with each of those types. So yeah, that's something that I plan to do. We've got some things like this where it's just like full on model files, right? Where everything's already put together. And then I'm gonna put it into Unity and set it up. And then we've got obviously things like in here. Let's see, where's my... Hang on, my brain gotta remember. Got stuff like this that I made, which is like quite like it's kind of a different style of dress. Yeah, so this is stuff that I would love to do and work together with you guys. Of course the textures are showing. Why would the textures show? Why would that cooperate? Hang on, give me a sec. Right? You know, textures, please work. Thank you. So I made this as well, like, so stuff like this as an example, right? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I can do. And then that doesn't just apply to clothing or accessories or models. I also want to work on like furniture items or things for worlds or make bundles with stuff and right. So like here's like the dress that I made a while back. I do have on one of my models, but right. So you know, like I said, there's so much I can do. Yeah, I keep things pretty organized, or at least I try. So that's just all the avatar stuff in here, and I mean in items, I have a bunch of little beach items I made. So yeah, I will add to the list where I need to. So like for ears and tail, you know, I might be focusing on making rabbit ears or wolf ears or other animal ears that I will add to, maybe like tiger ears. Right, jaguar, leopard, doesn't really matter. I'll make anything. I like making stuff. I need more male models. I need more finished male models. I have one. But you know, yeah. So I got a lot planned. There's a lot of my older models here too that are just there. I have to look through everything though and decide if there's something that I want to reuse or keep, and then add it to my list of stuff in my folder. And then I also have my old personal models that I need to look through. So I've got a decent amount of stuff to go through in here, and take care of. So that's also something that I might be working on in the future too, trying to reorganize some things, look through all my old stuff. Like, because I got some models in here that I would like to remake, which I think would be a fun little project. You know how some people will essentially take an old piece of artwork, right, that they've made, and then remake it and redo it again? Something like that, essentially, where I take old things that I've made, maybe it wasn't 100% from scratch at the time, when I was still learning, and then I will remake it again, because I'm a big freaking maniac, and remake everything either from scratch, or if I'm using my new female male base, I'll use that from the start, and then whatever else needs to be made on it. But a lot of it is style aesthetic, right? So when you have a very specific look on a character and you want to try to emulate that, you're going to try to match it in the 3D version. So I actually have two variants of this character in 3D as well, but surprise, surprise, she's also in 3D. But you know, I wanted to use my 2D version instead for streaming because it's a little bit less harder on the computer. But yeah, no, so we got a lot we can be doing, and a lot of things I want to do. For games in the future, I mean, that's really gonna be dependent on you guys, right? Like, let me just bring her down. Whoa, I'm getting smaller. There we go. So like, these are all the games that I would say I have installed right now, and some games I would say are more single player, and other games are multiplayer. Some games I almost have completed, like this one. Ironically, I haven't done the main quest line stuff yet, so I kind of have to go back in and do that. But I don't mind starting new playthroughs for things as well. So, but yeah, when it comes to like say playing games, I don't mind. I've got a lot of games. My husband and I share a family account, so whatever games he has and I have, we all share together. So there's definitely a lot of stuff I could do. Um, but just to get a little taste of the things that I usually like to play, and that I have. So some games I've played much more on and everything, and these are just what's installed currently. So like for games, like I don't mind playing older games or games that I really haven't had a chance to touch yet. This you know, Supermarket Together is free as far as I remember. Yes, it's free to play. But yeah, anyway, you know, so there's a lot of stuff that I would like to do. But overall, I'm just happy to be back, and I will work towards some kind of a schedule for everybody else, so they know what days and what I'm streaming. Mainly, like I said, I would love to stream my model work, some games, and maybe in the future some other things like cooking, sewing. But yeah, Supermarket Together is a free game. So it's fun. So I'd recommend if you don't have it, download it. It's free. Um, it is, you know, multiplayer, so you can play with other friends. But yeah, no, I don't know. How's everyone else doing? I feel like I'm pretty good at talking about myself, but I want to know how everyone else has been. Um, Here, I'm gonna put Kip up in my arm now. His Kip up's in the chat. But I hope everyone else is doing pretty good. Again, this year has been interesting. For me, a lot of new changes. Meow. You might hear me meow a bunch. I just go meow. I go meow. But yeah, no, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover for at least for now. If you guys want, meow. I could go ahead and maybe play something for a bit. Let me see. I'm gonna just move my Steam over to the other page. Yeah, because I was thinking... I mean, Cookie Clickers kind of seem redundant. I mean, it'd be a nice little background thing in general. I would like to finish Oblivion. I would like to finish the main storyline, because I have not finished the main storyline, but I pretty much have done everything else. As an example. Don't ask me how I missed the whole main. Like, listen, it's that stupid amulet. I still want to deal with it. You know what? I feel like we could finish that. Where's my controller? I'll plug my controller in first. Alright, why not? We're gonna finish Oblivion, guys. I'm going to finish Oblivion. We have not finished it yet. And I only just need to do the main quest story now. Nothing else, except for the Duke of, Dementia. Which is, that's funny, because last time I played the original one, it was the same way. Let's see if this is actually going to open up on my main screen, or if it's going to open up on my other screen. Let me just type in Oblivion. Oh, that's fine. That was just my mods. Oh, that's right. You know why? I had it modded, and it probably won't start because